Hello YouTube and welcome back to the ADHD DIY Guy channel. I'm especially excited to share this next addition to my garden pond series, but first let me ask you a question. Does your pond or aquarium water look like a science experiment? Have you been thinking of adding a filter to your setup only to be gut checked by the price tags of anything that looks even half decent? If you answered yes to either of those questions, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you how I keep my fish pond water to stay crystal clear with a do-it-yourself solution for an otherwise expensive product line. Today I'm going to show you how to build a do-it-yourself canister filter, but for a fraction of the cost. And canister filters can be hundreds of dollars. What I'm going to be showing you how to build is going to be like maybe 15, maybe 20, give or take. I'm going to start by going over the list of items that you're going to need. The first one is a bucket of some kind. Now this is a 2-gallon bucket. You can use a 5-gallon bucket depending on your size constraints. For me, this is actually going to go in my pond and be underneath my fountain. And so I wanted it to be small enough in the pond itself. So 2-gallon bucket, and the lid is something called a gamma seal lid. It's like a food safe, watertight, airtight lid that you can put on buckets for food storage, food prep, things like that. I think this was from Winco. You snap the ring on the top of the bucket, which once it's on, you can't get it off. And there's a gasket inside the ring that creates a waterproof seal. And then you have this lid that twists on. But there's also like a rubber ring gasket around the edge there. When you tighten it on, it creates a watertight seal here as well. So that's item number one. This is kind of the key to the whole thing. Then, like you saw in my last video, I've got uni seals. That's the cool pseudo bulkhead gaskets that allow for you to get a watertight seal around a curved surface. And then a bunch of PVC connectors, fittings, pieces. Yeah, all of the PVC I already had from previous projects, so I'm just going to basically use as I go. I'll point out the specific pieces that you might need if you're going to the store and getting it. Then next, you want some type of screen material. This is an old reusable, washable HVAC filter that I'm cutting up and using. I might use the hard plastic screen from this. You could use a strainer from the dollar store. There's a lot of things that you could use, but basically you just want a screen that has some rigidity that you can use to create some void space on the bottom with all of the filter material on top of it. You'll see what I mean. Then the filter material itself, here's the padding that I've been talking about. You can also use quilt batting or polyfill, which is really cheap, really affordable. I think I've seen polyfill at the thrift store like 3 out of the last 5 times that I've gone into a thrift store. And then last cool item, these are pot scrubbies. Instead of spending money on bio balls, $1.25 at the dollar store gets you a pack of 7. So go and buy yourself a handful, a few packs of these. You know, I think I'm probably gonna use 3 packs for this filter. The tools that you'll need a drill with a step up bit, or something that you can drill a hole for the uni seals to fit in. Some type of PVC cutter if you're using the PVC in the way that I am. And that should be it. Alright, if you've got the bucket and the seal lid on, alright, I'm going to start by drilling a hole in the bottom for my first uni seal. And this one I'm going to use the 1/2-inch uni seal for the input, and then I want a bigger uni seal for the output. Just gonna, Alright, so now you got a nice hole. I'm gonna take a uni seal. And pop it in to that nice hole. So I want the PVC to go into the uni seal and come about halfway into the bucket, and so I'm just eyeballing it. I'm gonna have a coupler basically right on the outside of the filter. That way, if I ever need to take it out or anything, I can just remove it from the coupler and lift out the filter, as opposed to dealing with all of the piping and housing. So I'm gonna cut it like, I'll probably have it come out a few inches from the filter, probably right there. So that's what you're looking at, right? Basically have Uniseal with the PVC poking out the one side and poking on the inside. Then I'm just going to take a T-fitting to disperse the water throughout the filter and pop that right on the end. When you do this, because the Uniseal will be slightly off the bottom, the PVC pipe is going to be a little bit raised, which is a good thing. It creates void space. It allows for the solids to settle. I'm going to have this grid basically go on the bottom. If you do not have a hard mesh grid material, a strainer from the dollar store, or just an old strainer that you have that fits inside this bucket would be fine. Now, I'm not going to use this, but if you wanted to, you could. So I need just need and creates a little mesh guard here. This really is just to create a void space. So the only thing next that I want to do is I do want to have there be some type of thing over here to keep this up. Done. Now I get to take this and I'm going to do it one layer at a time, because last time it was not like the easiest to cut all of these pieces together. These, I want them to be a little bit wider than the bucket itself, because I'm going to have them like fold basically in and create edges. So it looks like I can get 2 more of these cutouts. Snug as a bug on a rug, under a rug, on a rug. So there's my layer of padding. So I got 3 layers of this. I'm putting 2 at the bottom, and then I think I'm gonna top it with 1. I don't know why, but it just feels good. The idea of that, I don't know. So 2 at the bottom, 1's gonna end up going on the top. Then next up is the pot scrubbies. So if you look at the texture on these, you can see they have all of those void spaces interwoven in the scrubbies themselves, and the good bacteria is gonna find all of the places inside of all of that plastic and all of that surface area to live. And as the water passes through it, all of that surface area with all that good bacteria is going to convert the ammonia to nitrites, to nitrates, and then the nitrates are food for your plants that you're going to put in your pond, because you're going to put plants in your pond, aren't you? Why aren't you? If you're not, that's silly. So that's going to be food for your plants, or just not harmful to your fish at the very least. But really good filter material. 1 pack. Also, I've heard, I think it was the king of DIY who does a bunch of aquarium stuff. When he talks about pot scrubbies, he has mentioned that they have 3 times the surface area of typical bio balls. Now, I don't know if that's based on science or like a real actual measurement, but it looks right to me. So anecdotally, I would believe that it's true. So you see, I got 2 of those 7 packs already is filling this up pretty good. I have a third. I'm gonna use it. I was even thinking that I might need more, but I really don't think I'm going to. And just have a little bit loosey-goosey. Silly goose. Then take my last pad, put that over the top. You know what I'm gonna do? So I've got a bunch of this just like extra stuff hanging around. I'm just gonna cut this into a bunch of pieces and have like pieces like this be in here as well. Just more filter material for it to pass through. You do not need to do this step. Honestly, if all you had was the pot scrubbies, this would be a great filter and it would work really, really well and it would be awesome for biological filtration. I don't know how well the pot scrubbies by themselves would polish the water like a fine matting would, but it would definitely, it would keep the ammonia levels in check and control, which is the most important part of our filter, is keeping the water's levels safe for our fish, and ammonia is that killer that is toxic to fish. So pot scrubbies would do that. There we go. And then that one final layer, hold that thing in place. Perfect, boom, dang, bam. Right? Now, for the lid, for the top part, where did my lid go? I'm not crazy. I'm just a little unwell. Alright, so for the exit, the Uniseal is going to fit perfectly in the middle, but there's not a whole lot of wiggle room. Thankfully, the way that this was molded, it has a little plastic nipple right in the center as a guide, so that'll be nice. Remember, we're being quiet. So now that's the top. Take this guy, pop it in there, boom, boom, bang. Okay. So now that Uniseal is in there. Here is a T-fitting for a 3/4 inch pipe. And I'm going to take out some filter material. I put in too much. Maybe it's just too much in the middle. Alright, if anybody wants some extra cups of filter material, I have too many. Boom. Then, okay. So basically that's the bottom, and what that'll allow it to do is when this is on and all the water's coming up, it's a 1/2 inch PVC coming in. Right, keep in mind, it's the pump that's going to be operating this is only 267 gallons an hour, and then this is a 3/4 inch PVC leaving the filter, and this is a 3/4 inch T fitting, but only a 1/2 inch water pipe is coming in, kind of having the exit be a little bit more loosey-goosey. Then hopefully that'll prevent channeling, and it'll also make sure that it doesn't create too much pressure buildup inside of the filter for any failures of seals or anything like that. So got that. Now put that on. Just screw it in place. Boom. That guy. Now yeah. But you can actually see the layers of the filter. So you can see the void space in the bottom where there's no filter material, and then you can see the layers of the pads, and then you can see all of the pot scrubbies in that layer, and then there's the padding at the top, that layer. Now you have a canister filter, do it yourself, less than $10 for the bucket and lid. $2 a piece for the Uniseal. I bought 5 packs, I think 5 or 6 packs. A couple of PVC pieces, which I already own my PVC, so I don't have the price figures for you right away, but not very much. The pot scrubbies were $1.25 for a 7 pack. I bought 3 packs and it filled this almost perfectly. Some screen material, which again, you can use a strainer from the dollar store, $1.25, to create the void space at the bottom. So there you go. This hobby is expensive. The companies that make these products and this stuff charge an arm and a leg for it because they know that we'll pay it, because we care about our animals, we care about our pets, we care about our fish, we care about our ponds, we care about our gardens. But it's just bacteria, dude. You just need something to remove your solids, and you need something to turn ammonia into safe nitrates. That's all you need. Just oversimplifying a little bit, but nature will do the work. You just have to give it the space to do it, and this gives you a ton of surface area to do it. Happy ponding. I'll see you in the next one.